Welcome to Pizza Bytes, where I teach you programming in bite-sized pieces. My name's Pizza, and let's get started. Today's lesson covers the very beginnings of programming, so I'm going to assume you've never programmed before. First, I'm going to explain to you what is programming, and second, we're going to install Java and get started with your first program. Okay, what even is programming? Programming is simple. It's just writing instructions for your computer. Most electronic devices need a program to be able to run. Things like your printer, your smartwatch, your smartphone, any websites, things like that are all run via a program. To make it easier, you can think of your computer like a robot, and all it needs to do is just be fed instructions. It just needs to be told exactly what to do. The instructions could be things like add these two numbers up and then display the result, and then display this icon. While that is simple enough and it kind of explains the gist of programming, there is a little bit more theory that I want you to understand before we move on to programming. When you write a program, you write it in a language that you can understand. This language is called a programming language, and Java is just one of many programming languages. When the computer executes a program, it actually is executing something called machine code, which humans cannot understand because it's made out of ones and zeros. The way this works is that you write your instructions in human-readable programming languages such as Java. The code that you write is called source code. You then compile or translate your source code into Java bytecode. Bytecode is kind of an in-between form. It's not really machine code, but it's not really source code. In order for you to execute your instructions, you need a Java interpreter called the JVM. Okay, I hope you wrote all that down. However, here's a diagram that will show you exactly how that process works. So you can see, you write your source code, you compile it into bytecode, and then when you run that bytecode, the Java interpreter changes it to machine code and feeds those instructions to your computer. That was easy. Now on to installing the Java Development Kit so you can write your first program. Open up your browser and search for the Java Development Kit. Go ahead, click on the first link, the one that is from oracle.com. You can also use the link that is in the description. Go down and select your operating system, Windows, and download. I'm not going to download it because I already have it installed. To install the JDK, just keep clicking next through the wizard. However, make sure you make a note of this installation location because you're going to need it later. Once it's installed, you're going to have to open up that installation location. So mine is in C, Program Files, Java, and JDK21. Go into the bin folder, right-click on the address bar, click Copy Address. Now you're going to have to set one of your environmental variables to this location. So I'll show you exactly how to do that. The easiest way is if you just search up environmental variables here in the search bar on the bottom left. However, you can also right-click on the Start menu, go to System. On the right side, or sometimes on the bottom here, you can see Advanced System Settings. Click that. Click on Environmental Variables. Go to System Variables and go to the Path variable. Edit that, make a new entry, and you're going to paste your bin folder. Click OK. Click OK. Click OK. All the way through everything. While you can begin writing programs at this point, it would take a lot of extra time for you to write, edit, compile, and run your programs. In my lessons, we're going to be using an IDE, or an integrated development environment, that's going to help us save a bunch of time on these extraneous tasks. IDEs help you just to focus on the code and not on everything else. The IDE that we want to install is Apache's NetBeans IDE. You can get the link from the description, or you can just Google it. Once you install NetBeans and open it up, you will see a screen that looks something like this. From here, we want to make our very first project. So go to the top left and you'll see the new project with the little plus sign right above it. Click on that icon. We're going to select Java with Maven and a Java application. I'll explain that later. Click Next. Under the project name, just go ahead and call it Hello World. Capitalize each word. Click Finish. We see here that NetBeans actually writes our very first program for us. So you gotta love IDEs. I want you to look at this very first program. Look at public class hello world. So what this is telling you is that you're making a class. The name is hello world, and it starts with the beginning of this curly brace and ends at the end of this curly brace, and it only has one thing right here. This is the main method. Whenever you enter a Java program, it always enters at the main method. The main method also exists within a pair of curly braces, right? An opening brace and a closing brace. The main method has just one statement here, one instruction that says print line, right? Print ln, which stands for print line. And you see that it contains two words here, hello world. Let's make this easy and just click run, which is the green play button up here. So NetBeans compiled your file and then it ran it. You see that the result is hello world. That's your first project, and unfortunately all it does is just print out hello world. Kind of boring. So let's make this your own. Change those words within the quotation marks to anything you'd like. For example, Pizza Bytes is the best #1. Okay, once you've got your message set up, just click to play again or run. The IDE is going to do everything. It's going to save, compile, and run your file. And we see we have our new message, Pizza Bytes is #1. Congratulations on running your very first program with the help of an IDE. Make sure to like this video and click on the next video up here for the next lesson. Also, subscribe to be notified of my newest videos. See you next time and happy coding.